In case of status change, then also you can terminate pregnancy up to 24 weeks of pregnancy with opinion of two registered medical practitioner. Physical disability. Under Indian Physical Disability Act, there is a list, and if any patient falls in that list, then in this patient also you can terminate pregnancy up to 24 weeks of pregnancy. Mentally ill woman including mental retardation. But in this type of situation, you have to go for opinion from psychiatrist. You will not decide that patient is mentally retarded or mentally ill. So whenever this type of situation you face, and if at all you want to help patient and have an opinion from psychiatrist, and you can very well terminate pregnancy. Fetal malformation. But here it is very clear. Malformation should be incompatible with life of fetus. Then only you will terminate pregnancy more than 20 weeks and less than 24 weeks with opinion of two registered medical practitioner. And one more indication on humanitarian ground. So say for example in era of COVID-19, government has a guideline to have a minimum access of patient to the hospital. So in this type of notification, when patient has no access to reach hospital and if pregnancy has advanced 20 weeks and less than 24 weeks, then pregnancy can be terminated with opinion of two registered medical practitioners. But burden of proof is on your shoulder to prove that there should be notification on part of government. So from 20 weeks to 24 weeks, all these categories, if any category you are having, then you can terminate pregnancy up to 24 weeks of pregnancy with opinion of two registered medical practitioners. And for that, prescribed form, that is form E, and you on form E when pregnancy is to be terminated from 20 to 24 weeks of pregnancy. And all indications we discussed are given in form E. You have to simply mark the indication which is fit in your patient. One more part in this form E is intimation of termination. So we hereby give intimation that we terminated pregnancy of woman referred to above, which bears serial number, which number is given to patient in MTP register. So you will have to give intimation in form E. So this is prescribed form for termination of pregnancy from 20 to 24 weeks of pregnancy. More than it was not allowed, but with this amendment, power has been conferred to medical board. And if medical board is of opinion, then pregnancy can be terminated. But medical board has not power to give opinion in all the cases. Here also, substantial fetal congenital anomaly incompatible with life of fetus. So if pregnancy has advanced more than 24 weeks, and if you find that there is congenital fetal abnormality incompatible with life of fetus, then pregnancy can be terminated even beyond 24 weeks of pregnancy with opinion of medical board. So what is medical board then? One gynecologist, one pediatrician and one sonologist, and 2 to 3 more persons can be invited in medical board by government. So government has conferred with power to constitute medical board in each and every district. In so many districts in India, medical board is already formed, or in other districts it is in process. Once medical board is formed, patient will have to simply apply for seeking permission or opinion from medical board with all the investigation, all the reports, and medical board will open. And with this amendment, medical board is conferred with power as well as function. But we do not want to go into other detail. But one thing I would like to mention. Once medical board receive the application, medical board is under obligation to open within 3 days. Because previously what happened, when we seeking permission from Honorable High Court referred to medical board, and there was no time limit, and many a times ample time was given, and we know when pregnancy is advanced, then naturally risk of termination will be increased. So with this amendment, good amendment in favor of patient, then medical board is under obligation to open within 3 days, and there is prescribed form, that is form D, we will later on. And once medical board is of opinion that this pregnancy should be terminated, then that very pregnancy should be terminated within 5 days. So within 5 days, this pregnancy should be terminated. So these two amendments are very much good in favor of patient. And two opine on this is prescribed form, that is form D. And in this form, name, age, all the reports, that is okay. But very important point is opinion of medical board whether allowed or denied and justification for decision. If medical board denies, then also medical board has to justify why they denied, and if they allow, then also they will have to justify then why they have allowed. And physical fitness of woman, medical board will opine that also, that patient is fit to go for termination of pregnancy. So this is a very important amendment as far as termination of pregnancy is concerned on part of medical board. If pregnancy is more than 24 weeks, if pregnancy is very normal, even in case of rape victim, then also medical board has no power to opine. So in this type of situation, again one will have to rush to Honorable High Court with writ petition to seeking permission to terminate pregnancy beyond 24 weeks of pregnancy. Any time during pregnancy. So if it is immediate necessary to save life of pregnant patient, one can terminate pregnancy at any gestational age. It is given in section 5 of MTP Act that length of pregnancy at any length, you can terminate pregnancy even at unregistered place also. But burden of proof is on your shoulder to prove that it was immediate necessary to save life of patient to terminate pregnancy. Say for example, you are dealing with a malignant hypertension, 250 or so, and diastolic 130 or so, not responding to medical method of treatment, then you can very well terminate pregnancy at any gestational age and no permission of any court is required. Under section 5, this power is given to registered medical practitioner. This is very important, or we call it form 3. So as far as MTP register is concerned, it is secret document, it should be very strictly confidential, and it should be kept in a custody, and it cannot be open unless there are two conditions. One, if patient is working woman and if she asks for certificate for leave, then you can open that register to have a information of the patient. And if any person who is authorized by law to inspect that register, then only that register can be opened. Otherwise, this register is very secret document, because all the information related to patient undergoing MTP will be in this register. It should be serially marked by calendar year. So every calendar year, new entry will be start from January only, and it will be year-wise and month-wise. Say for example, January 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In January, how much termination 5? From February, yearly number will be serial 1, 6, 7, 8. In February, again 1, 2, 3, 4. So the main number which is given, yearly number, it will be the number given to the patient. So this is prescribed form, that is form 3. And you have to maintain all the details in form 3. And with this amendment, last two columns were added. One column is which method of contraception patient has adopted after termination of pregnancy, and by which method pregnancy was terminated. Previously, these two columns were not in this MTP register. No entry of name of patient can be made in case sheet, operation theatre register, follow-up card, or any other document. Once patient is decided to go for termination of pregnancy, and once you have entered record in MTP register, and once number is given to that patient, all the correspondence related to that patient will be with that number only. In discharge card also no name of patient is to be written. And why I am insisting, I will discuss little later on. So, no any personal identity is to be revealed. So, number given to patient in MTP register or Form 3 register is to be mentioned in discharge card, in prescription, in your OT register if you have terminated pregnancy surgically, and if you have to maintain OT register also. If you are working in a big hospital where more than one gynecologist are working, then how to maintain all those records? That is form C, that is form of consent. And Form 1 and Form E, that is form of opinion, should be kept in envelope. Envelope should be sealed and it should be marked secret, and it should contain serial number which is assigned to the woman and name of registered medical practitioner who has terminated the pregnancy. And within 3 hours of termination of pregnancy, this cover should be sent to the head of the institution, and all the record will be kept in safe custody by head of the institution. But if you are working in your hospital, you are only person working, then no need to do this. You can have all this Form C, Form 1, Form E in file also, but it should be in your own custody. Monthly reporting, that is Form 2. So at the end of month, you will have to report appropriate authority about termination services. But in that Form 2, no personal identity of any patient is to be revealed. Only statistic you have to give. How much termination of pregnancy in last month, say for example in month of October, say for example 10. Then how up to 12 weeks, how up to 24 weeks, how more than 24 weeks. So that way you have to give only statistic and no personal identity of any patient. And all these forms which I discussed and going to discuss further are available on website also. If you simply go for MTP Act 1971 and forms, you will have all these forms on website. So all these forms too, these are the column as per gestational age of the patient. So when you will have to report this appropriate authority within Act, there is no mention. But within 5 to 10 days, if you report, then it should be considered reasonable period. Now I am coming to this. No registered medical practitioner shall reveal name and other particulars of woman. This was previously in MTP Act also. But with this amendment, it has become little serious one, and there is a provision of imprisonment of 1 year for breach of confidence.